Hi, everyone. So this is Neha from Bali, and I'm just getting ready to leave and just having some thoughts and awarenesses about all that I've learned during this trip here. Not to mention my curly hair, which I'm not used to seeing on camera, but it's fun and it feels free and beautiful. So I wanted to tell you this trip to Bali has been different than some of my other ones, and I have started to really align on a much deeper level with myself, my body. I've challenged parts of myself because my health, because I'm going through a little bit of a health thing. And so you can see it. There's this reaction on my face, a rash that has progressively gotten worse. It's more than a rash, but to simplify it, that's what it is. And it really has me paying a lot more attention to my physical health. So I always paid attention to it. I've always been vegetarian and gluten-free and dairy-free, and, I've tried all sorts of different ways to give me strength and energy. But this time, this idea that something would be like right front and center on my face had me not posting blogs this time when I was here. And I thought, no, I'm going to challenge myself. I'm gonna do a blog that is about not just, having other people get on and talk about their emotional vulnerability or their, challenging thoughts and ideas, but just the idea that what does it mean when our physical health breaks down? And I happen to be a doctor. So there's a few things I've learned. Sometimes you think it might be this like great advantage. And it is. You understand a lot of things. The problem with it is you sometimes, as a physician, you sideline other physicians. You don't act like a full patient, right? I didn't act like a full patient. I was kind of like, hey, check this out. What do you think of this? Kind of sidelining people. Now, there's good news to that because you don't have to pay to go see a doctor. You don't have to wait for an appointment. Now, the bad news is that sometimes the problem with that is that you don't get the attention and the workup that is as thorough as it is when you come in and see me and you're my patient. So that's the first thing I learned, that sometimes it's dangerous to just think you can do this yourself because you know a lot of things and sideline other people to get their input, and sometimes that doesn't serve me. So this ended up going on for several months longer than it probably should have. The second thing is I realized how self-conscious I can become when, that which I show the world, your face, right? My face is the one that is affected. And so I notice that sometimes I'm more self-conscious about it, but if I meet people in the cafe or I meet people in, when I'm traveling, they don't even really notice it like I notice it. And I think that's a huge piece of this. The other learnings that I had were, I also deal with things, right, like on a physical level, a mental level, an emotional level, a social, spiritual level. So I think of things on all levels. So the way this initially showed up was actually on my belly button. And it was just like, some sloughing of skin on my belly button. And so I started to think of all the emotional and, energetic and spiritual things. Like first I was like, oh, it's dry skin. There's my physical realm, right? And then I was like, belly button. Like different parts of the body represent different things. And so I thought, okay, maybe it's connection to mother. Like maybe I'm like, releasing something I need to focus on my relationship with my mom. Because it's like the umbilical cord, right? Where you connect. And I thought of a whole bunch of other things, energetically and all this kind of stuff. But the truth is that sometimes it's straight physical. So I found out that right where my belly button was, but there's the third part of your small intestine is called your ileum, and it's where 90% of the absorption of your food occurs. And one cell layer deep is also where 60% of your immune system sits. And so this whole thing happening, all sorts of autoimmune things were being entertained, lupus and, all sorts of autoimmune things. But really what happens is when you get stressed or there's a breakdown of the third part of your small intestine where your food's absorbed, you start not being able to absorb things very well. So no matter how good of food I'm putting in me or supplements or any of that stuff, it's not getting absorbed. So I was feeling really fatigued and tired. And so I just kept soldiering through, pushing through, hoping that, as long as I rested a lot at night and I gave myself good food, it would get better. So what I've learned is when I came to Bali, I've just learned that it gave me the physical support to have me doing things that I didn't think I could do. So I thought I could take supplements and vitamins once a day, but not like 3 times a day. You know what? When your physical body breaks down, you'll do it as many times as you need to. So my physical body and it got elevated to the highest level of relationship with me. And I think what's also really great is I noticed that when I come to Bali, I usually tend to eat fruit, like fresh fruit, because they have all this tropical, amazing fruit. And there's really good food here, so it's easy to eat really well. And I usually lose weight and all this kind of stuff. And for the first time, this time, I didn't care about any of that stuff. The only thing I cared about was listening to my body and coming into rhythm with my body. So that me and my body were just this incredible partnership. And now I don't put any restrictions on it. I'll take whatever I need to 3 times a day if that's what I need to do. My highest priority and my highest focus is back on my physical body where it needs to be. And then all the other aspects are wonderful, like the mental and emotional and social and spiritual. Those ones come too, but you don't have anything unless you have your physical body. So curly-headed and open-hearted from Bali, just wanted to share with you some of my key learnings and take a risk for myself, which was to do a video blog on me, on my learnings, while I was here for a time that was of healing. And of course I'm writing because that's healing too. But probably the biggest lessons I've learned this time are around my own physical health and what level of partnership, deepening the partnership between me and my body. So I'd ask you, when you need support, where is a place on earth that feels so supportive and nurturing and healing for you? And also, have you ever struggled with your physical health? And if so, how did it transform your relationship to your body and to your health? Because one thing I've noticed is when there's a physical breakdown of the body, it's the fastest route to spiritual healing. And it's like, I remember in the hospital, whenever there were, someone would come in with a heart attack or a stroke or pneumonia, they would always, start praying. They would start asking, for guidance and hope and help. And it's just one of the most sacred moments in the world. So I just wanted to share one of those from me with you. So, and I'll just show you real quick where this little haven is in Bali that I come each year. It's this room called the Sandat room, right? And if you look in, you can see it's just a little mosquito. It's a simple, nice room, right? And then this is what I look out onto as I write and create blogs and books and all of that. And then you can see my desk. That's like my office when I'm in Bali. It's so fun to just come out here and work. So I hope you enjoyed this little sneak peek into my world when I'm in Bali and when I'm writing and trying to create things that can help. All right, signing off.